To the Toltec School District number 22 governing board meeting. I would like us to stand up and do the pledge of allegiance. I guess I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Rogers, could you help us in the treasure pledge?
As an adult and a treasure hunter, I am committed to search for all the talents, skills, and intelligence that exist in all children and youth. I believe all children are capable of success, no exceptions.
Moment of silence. All right, let's take a seat. Move on to the roll call.
Mark Lindgren.
Here.
Steve Courtwright.
Here.
Tim Kaysen is absent tonight. Bill Doherty.
Here.
3 of the 4 governing board members are present. We have a quorum.
Very good, thank you. Now we move on to D, approval of the agenda. Does anybody wish to move to approve the agenda as presented?
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Okay. We have, Mr. Dougherty has made a motion to approve the agenda. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And Mr. Courtwright has made a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Passes. Move on to number 2, consent agenda items. We move on to A, approval of the action consent items. And does anybody want to make a motion to move to approve all consent agenda items as presented?
I move that we approve all consent agenda items as presented.
Very good. Mr. Courtwright has made a motion.
I second.
Mr. Dougherty has made a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. We move on to information discussion items. A, superintendent summary.
Kids at Hope Training Part 1 and Module 1 held on Friday was attended by 60 employees of differing positions. And this was specifically for those who had not had Kids at Hope professional development. And it was inspiring to hear personal stories and renewed vision shared by some of our employees. There were some tears that were shared, some heartfelt sentiments, and it was a good time. The Kids at Hope philosophy builds a culture of adults who believe in students and actively instill hope. I am blessed to work with employees who have overcome life obstacles and use those experiences for the greater good. The field of public education is not easy, but incredibly rewarding. It energizes me to facilitate this impactful journey we walk together, regardless of position, as a district. We had certified and classified. We had everything from transportation, custodial, maintenance. We had a whole array of employees. It was a great time on Friday. Upcoming calendar, this is a 4-day weekend because Monday is no school. We take it off for Easter Monday. There are only 25 days of school remaining for students, believe it or not. And state standardized testing continues to be ongoing this month. And I announced last meeting that we had perfect attendance for third quarter of 31 employees, but there were actually 32. Jesus Cardenas obtained perfect attendance, so thank you, Mondo. And that's all.
Very good. And now we move on. We have the finance report. Ta-da!
Okay, so you guys have the similar reports to last month. The first report is the budget report is a summary of expenditures from July 1st, 2021 through March 31st, 2022. The total monthly expenditures for March were $558,679.96. As we shared last month, we'll continue to make adjustments per grant revisions And this will continue through the fiscal year as we submit more revisions as needed. The second report is the April budget report from EDE. As budget calculations begin to finalize, we expect to see an increase in our M&O budget capacity by about $204,320. This amount is reflective of changes in our ADM and recent approval of our Move On When Reading Literacy Plan. Please keep in mind that these figures are estimates as final ADM has not been calculated by ADE.
We're moving on quick here, aren't we?
We're on fire.
I think we are on fire. So I guess we move on to number 4. Do we have a public vote?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to 5.
So you're presented with the school year 2023, so beginning this next upcoming school year, through school year 2025, the intergovernmental agreement with Pinal County Service Consortium for our continued partnership with Pinal County Education Services for the benefit of our district. And we are one of 20 districts who are part of this consortium. Billing will still be annual for this 3-year agreement. Annual membership fees are based on ADM counts, and it's $750 base fee plus $1.75 per student. And we've used this group through the county to provide support for teachers that are emergency certified, professional development. It's a good partnership.
And this is something that we've been doing.
This is something we've been doing since I've been superintendent. We renewed our good standing with the county and these type of agreements.
Yes, we were a little out of sorts before. So yes, and this is something I think is very good that we keep going with this one. Does anybody wish to make a motion to approve the 2023-2025 intergovernmental agreement with Pinal County Educational Service Consortium?
I move that we approve the intergovernmental agreement with Pinal County Education Service Consortium for 2023 to 2025.
Very good. Mr. Corbin made a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Mr. Downing has made a second. All in agreement, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. We now move on to our next B, action item B, special education service contract.
This is with Savvy Speech, which is seeking to continue providing special education services for student therapy needs. Service and fees are listed on page 8 of the document, that they vary. And then services and support provided are speech and language therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. Hours for services are billed monthly on an as-needed basis, so the cost varies according to required services fitting to the needs of our students. We have used Savvy Speech for a couple of years now, so this would be a continued contract.
What's your opinion of good job they do?
Well, if we had a bigger organization that was providing these services when I came into the district office the first couple of years, and I wasn't impressed with them because they were so big that we were just one more school on their agenda. And they would come in and provide a lot of support until we signed the contract, and then not so much. And it was very, very costly. And then they raised their prices enormously. And we can't afford a bigger group like that. And this is a smaller group who had worked within our district providing services years before and knew a lot of the therapists knew our students and things like that. So it's a good partnership.
Good to hear.
Well, I was there when I was moving around, so I
Well,
was
I'm
so,
sure that's the reason.
I was so glad. I was so glad when you got these guys instead of the others. I saw that the other guys, the other group was like there at the beginning, you know, and then Julian just disappeared. They never gave us help this much. So I think this is a great thing. So do I get a motion to approve the 2022-23 special education service contract with Savvy Speech?
I motion therefore.
All right, Mr. Downing has made that motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Corr has made a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. We move on to action item C, salary schedules.
These are the salary schedules for the 2022-23 school year. The, one of the salary schedules is for certified teachers, and the additional 3,600 that's added to the base pay has been put in the heading because sometimes that's missed, and it looks like we're paying our teachers a lot less than we really are, so I put that in the heading. And then note 4 mentions the performance pay plan, which provides additional monies for all teachers meeting that criteria. And then as a footnote, I added information pertinent to emergency certified teachers and for clarification, and the annual pay for emergency certified teachers and reference to the corrective action stimulus plan that includes additional monies for those who are eligible. We also have the certified administrator salary schedule. Now, when I was creating these schedules, this is a new schedule, and it had previously been included in the exempt salary schedule, but administrators receive a contract, whereas classified employees receive work agreements, so these positions are now separate. And the capacity coach position has been removed since it's being dissolved. Mentoring for the teachers will be accomplished by administration and appropriately certified teachers as assigned. And entry levels have been increased for the special education director and assistant principal positions, since these positions require a master's degree and an administration certificate. We are still below the pay offered by neighboring districts, but these changes will improve our competitiveness. And then we also have the exempt employee salary schedule, and this is a salary schedule that used to be combined with the administrator salary schedule. It's been put into their own salary schedule and in the same type of format that the administrator pay schedule is. Entry level pay has been increased by $2,000 for the positions of accounting coordinator and student information systems coordinator. The executive assistant to the superintendent has been added to the salary schedule, which is a change from hourly to salary and from part-time to full-time. This position has taken on 2 additional positional responsibilities: district safety coordinator and school facilities grant officer. So when Mrs. Ferguson first came back to work, she agreed to work for us part-time. Miss Part-Time has been working very full-time because we're so busy. So this is fitting. The substitute teacher pay schedule, we did not have a pay schedule for this, but it was kind of hard to find what the salaries were. So I created a pay schedule for such, and the rates include those who are contracted through Educational Services Incorporated, ESI, and for district employee emergency certified roaming substitutes. We also have the classified hourly pay schedule finally, and salaries have been changed for most positions in an attempt to provide a better living for dedicated hourly employees. And paraprofessionals now have 2 salary options. There's the entry level at 13 and 14, and the higher, which includes a ranking of being highly qualified. A specific plan is composed and it's outlined for you coming up as an action item for outlining the parameters for highly qualified status. There's no longer a special education category for bus drivers. All bus drivers, excluding substitutes, will be paid the same hourly rate. As far as for starting, of course, not everyone makes the same. It depends on how long you work for the district. The school administrative assistant positions are presented as 12-month positions, since they're summer reports that are necessary, and it's also a benefit to our community to have more opportunity to register. The transportation coordinator position has the added responsibility of the maintenance department and is being presented as a 12-month position. It's necessary for this employee to be present for the summer school sessions too. And I spoke with a supervisor and I explained to him, I spoke to him today and also explained that I want this position to also start working on our inventory, which in the past we have hired others our employees to work on that. So that will be facilitated also there. It doesn't mean we might not need some other hands on deck, but it'll be ongoing. We'll be able to keep up with that task. Hourly employees are very important to the overall success of our schools and districts, and it's our hope that employees stay the course and continue to earn more each year, which is a perk of longevity. And with these increases in pay, it's a teeny bit scary, but our enrollment has been in a good place. But if student enrollment was to decrease, then it might be a possibility down the line that we would have to cut back on the amount of employees that we have. But I don't foresee that happening. Today, I worked for at least 2 hours, if not 3, on the correct placement of all of these classified hourly employees for their pay, for their new work agreements that will be generated tomorrow and handed out on Wednesday. And every single employee, this is the beauty of it, every single employee is receiving a raise, and some quite a bit of a raise. But it's more fitting to responsibilities and what they're doing. And we're hoping to not only be more competitive with neighboring districts, but also to just keep our employees and maybe diminish the turnaround that we've been experiencing.
Absolutely. And I was going to say something, no, it slipped through my little brain here. No, I think this is, the whole thing about maybe we have to look forward and say, okay, maybe there might be some things we have in town. But I just keep seeing people moving in, and kids everywhere.
Yeah.
And they got kids too. So, I mean, I'm just down from the school and I see people all over. So I don't foresee that. That's something that I don't see. And it's good that we try. You know, we just got to put your best foot forward, try, and keep that going. So if I would like to see if I can get a motion for approval of salary schedules as presented for the 2022-2023 school year.
I move that we accept the salary schedules for the 2022-2023 school year.
All right, a motion is made by Mr. Courtright. Do I have a second?
I second.
Mr. Dowry has made a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. Moving on to action item D, which we were talking about earlier.
So these are the work calendars, and we've got several here. 12-month certified administrator work calendar. Our calendars, some of them didn't make sense, so I have made some changes. But so the 12-month certified administrators are on their own work calendar, and the previous calendar was for 216 work days, and this has been updated for 215 work days, and that's even with an added Friday in July. I did find some mistakes and things, so we got those corrected. The 12-month classified exempt and hourly work calendar, these are two groups of employees. Well, two groups of employees were on two different calendars. Both now have 210 work days. So we used to have one for exempt, which was, I believe, on the administrator calendar, and then hourly, but I've aligned those and now they match. We have our 11-month work calendar, and the number of work days previously for 11-month classified employees was 175, and the number of work days for certified employees was 183, and they were on different calendars. And there's now 163 work days contained within the 11 months that the calendar is defined as being. The next and final work calendar is 10-month, and I'm going to name this something different for next year because it's definitely not contained in 10 months, but the number of work days have been increased from 156 to 157 to accommodate a day for professional development, so that we can provide every opportunity for the highly qualified staff as sport paraprofessionals.
Any questions? All right, then I ask that we're going to someone move to approve the employee work calendars for the 2022-2023 school year.
I move to approve the employees' calendars for the 2022-2023 school year.
All right, Mr. Dowdy has made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Corrigan has made a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. Now we move on to E, the highly qualified paraprofessional plan.
For the academic benefit of our students and for the monetary benefit of our paraprofessionals, a plan has been composed for your approval. When a paraprofessional complies at the beginning of each school year, he or she will be considered highly qualified and eligible to move or remain in that pay grade. An additional day has been added to the calendar, as I just discussed, so that this training can be assigned and completed. The plan, we used to, years ago, have a test that was required by the state. So we would send our employees over to take the test, and they could take it in Eloy at the school district there, and then provide evidence that they had passed the test. Well, in considering how we wanted to go back to a highly qualified, I think it's beneficial to go back to a highly qualified status for our paraprofessionals. I thought it's more beneficial than just to take a test one time in general knowledge, more beneficial to be uploaded with some professional development that can be completed in one day that's pertinent to your position. So that will be assigned by the administration, and time will be given on the clock to do this, and it will be very feasible. I spoke to payroll, Andrea Payroll today, and as I was putting everyone on what they will be making their salary, what they'll be offered for next year, to make things easy and fair, what we will do is we will just assume that every paraprofessional is going to become highly qualified or remain highly qualified. If they're absent on the PD day, then they'll have to make other arrangements. But if they do not become highly qualified, then they will be moved back down, but they will start the year out at that pay for a highly qualified status and given every opportunity to stay there. So that's how we'll work it.
All right. Anybody got any questions at all? I think it's straightforward and easy enough to understand. Anybody want to make a motion to approve the highly qualified professional plan?
I move that we approve the highly qualified paraprofessional plan.
Mr. Corrigan has made a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Mr. Dowdy has made a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passed. All right, we move on to the best part of the meeting. Number 6, closing the meeting. The next meeting is April 11th. No, I mean May 9th. April 11th today. May 9th. May 9th.
Take a look. Okay, and I
Anybody have any issues with?
I'm checking that right now.
Oh, okay.
No, it's fine by me.
Oh, sounds good. And it looks like we're all in for May 9th, and moving on to the next one, a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
All right, Mr. Dowdy, has made a motion to adjourn. Adjourn. Do I have a second?
I second.
Mr. Corrigan has made a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes.
24-minute meeting.